So on April 4th, that's NWA Gives Day. That's a day of giving for Northwest Arkansas. So we participate in that, and we even have a match this year.
Wow,
so
okay.
your dollar is doubled
Very nice.
on that day. And then we have a really fun event, a new event that evening from 4 to 6 at Urban Cellar Winery on the square in Fayetteville.
I'm there.
We are going to launch our own wine.
No way.
As
That's
a fundraiser.
so fun.
So fun.
Yes.
Hey y'all, my name is Amy Morgan. I'm the marketing coordinator for Pediatric Dental Associates and Orthodontics. And today we are super excited to have two very special guests with us directly from the Children's Safety Center of Washington County. We have Miss Emily Rappe Fisher and Miss Sydney Bright. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, ladies. Say hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us. You guys have been wonderful partners of ours for a very long time, and we're excited to be here. But I'm Emily Rappe Fisher. I'm the Director of Development for the Children's Safety Center, and I've been there like 12 years now, which is so crazy.
That's crazy.
I
wow.
know.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sydney, tell us about your name, your role, and kind of when you came to the Children's Safety Center.
Well, I'm Sydney Bright. I'm the development coordinator. I've been at the center for almost 2 years in May. So
Very
yes.
awesome. All right. They brought you right in before they needed you to do all the things in July.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're glad to have both of you, and we are honored to be special relationship partners with you guys. And we feel very strongly about taking care of the kids in Northwest Arkansas, but specifically those that are most vulnerable and that need it the most from us. So we really appreciate everything that you guys do, and that you have come to us and asked us to be a partner on that. And we're just very honored to be a part of it.
Oh,
So
that's
thanks.
so sweet.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, so the month's coming up. We're here. It's April. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month nationally. That is what it's known as. And the Children's Safety Center has a lot of things going on in the month. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But what we really want to start with is, can one of you please talk about what the Children's Safety Center of Washington County is, what you guys do, and then obviously I need you to ring in on that new building that's beautiful. So
Yes, of course.
Yes.
So we are the Children's Safety Center of Washington County. We've been around for 27 years. A lot of people don't know that because we used to be on Emma Street in downtown Springdale in the Center for Nonprofits. But we are a place where when that immediate child abuse comes through the hotline and there's a priority 1 report of child abuse and it needs to be investigated, all of those kids come to our center to receive those initial services. So instead of the child being interviewed in the home with the potential guy in the next room listening, or maybe they feel threatened, or they're taken to the police station, which is super scary, and they're probably not going to say anything. All of those kids come to our center and are forensically interviewed by one of our forensic interviewers that know how to talk to kids instead of an adult that's used to interrogating adults, But it's a very child-friendly environment. We even provide the forensic medical exams if needed. Every child receives a child advocate, which walks with them through their entire process and even beyond. We provide free mental health therapy to all of our kids. We do a lot of education in the communities, which we'll talk more about that in a minute. But we do a lot, and all of that happens under one roof and revolves around the children. So law enforcement, DHS, whoever is involved in those investigations comes to the center. And so that child does not have to be transported all over the place. And hopefully they only have to tell their story one time. That's kind of the main thing. And then we assess, every story is different. We assess their needs, which is part of the child advocate role. So we do a lot to really provide that whole healing for the child and the family. And of course, it's all free of charge as we're a nonprofit. But we're also known for our handprints. We had over 14,000 handprints at the old center, which we brought a lot of those with us to the new one. And we do have an entire handprint studio now where the child will color their hand and place it on a canvas in the new one. So every child gets to leave their story behind. And I thought it would be really cool if Sydney told one of those stories today.
Perfect. Go for it, Sydney. I'd love to hear.
So we actually just had our Handprints for Hope luncheon this month, and we had a client speak and tell her story. So her name is Natalia. She was seen initially at the old center off of Emma. And her advocate, Miriam, helped her all throughout her journey. She was sexually and physically abused by mom's husband for years. And so she came, she got interviewed, she had a medical exam. And then throughout that, throughout the investigation, Miriam was able to go with her to court, to any other things. We got her into therapy at the center. She started seeing one of our therapists for trauma-focused therapy. And so really she has seen every single service that we provide at the center. And we've been able to really be there for her. Her advocate has been amazing. And so she actually got to tell her story on stage. And that was really healing for her because throughout the court process, she wasn't able to give her victim impact statement because he was never found guilty at the end. And so she didn't get to be able to say that. So this speech at the lunch was essentially kind of like her victim impact statement, and it gave her that healing of being able to share her story and feel the support of the CSC and all of the supporters of the CSC in the room. And it was a very emotional thing, but so amazing to watch her speak, and she did so amazing.
That's so great. I bet there was like lots of tears. I've got goosebumps just hearing that. Yes,
Yes.
that's it's amazing. And it's just the services that you are providing, you know, it's like even just coming to that fruition of the gentleman was not found guilty and her still being able to find some way to heal just through that system. So that's impressive.
Yeah.
I've always been very impressed with the center, but not getting to hear an exact story is awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you, Natalia, for allowing us to share your story.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into actually what is going on in the month of April. So talk a little bit about what the national program is, and then we'll get into what the events are that y'all are going to have locally.
Yeah, well, our center is a child advocacy center. They're all over the nation. We were the first one in Arkansas, but we primarily help kids from Washington County. And now there's like 33 different centers throughout the state, which is so fantastic. But April is a national event, and we say Pinwheels for Prevention, which is where we put out signs and pinwheels all over Washington County. The center puts out, we place 10 different banners in our own pinwheels, like at the center, at just prominent, really high traffic areas all through the county, because it has our logo, our website, but more importantly, the hotline number on it. And anyone can call the hotline. If you suspect child abuse, please call the hotline. You can also go to their website now and submit a report online.
That's
so
a nice
That
upgrade.
you guys are happy to hear that, because you and I have been
we've been there.
Call together before,
yes.
and the waiting's a little
it can be
long at times, but you can report online now. And so we just really want to raise that awareness piece of child abuse does happen in our community. We saw almost 700 kids last year, and most of those were sexual abuse allegations. It does not discriminate. It happens to everybody. And so this is just a way for local businesses and individuals, organizations to get involved. All you have to do is buy a sign, put it out for the month of April with some pinwheels. Again, this happens nationwide, so get on board. Yeah. But the pinwheels are just that sign of childhood. They're super sparkly. They, shine. And as you know, with marketing, it's great to place them by the sign, because when people are driving or walking, they're like, oh, wait, what is that? And then they're more inclined to read the sign, which is so important. So we place those out all of the month of April. You can purchase those through our website. We will hand deliver them to you, even put them in your yard if you want us to. And then that starts April 1st and lasts the whole month. And then on November, why did I just jump ahead?
Who knows? You were trying to get there. You're good. You're good.
So on April 4th, that's NWA Gives Day. That's a day of giving for Northwest Arkansas. So we participate in that. And we even have a match this year.
Wow,
so your dollar is doubled
Very nice.
on that day. And then we have a really fun event, a new event that evening from 4 to 6 at Urban Cellar Winery on the square in Fayetteville.
I'm there.
We are going to launch our own wine.
No way.
As
That's
a fundraiser.
so fun.
So fun.
Yes, we have a Sauvignon Blanc. It has a really cool label on it that has handprints. and even a story on the back of like how you purchasing this wine helps the CSE and helps kids. And so it's just another fun way to give back. And so we're having an event, a tasting experience on the square in downtown Fayetteville from 4 to 6. So it's 4/4/24 at 4.
Oh, hey, there you go. Won't be hard to remember. So there you go.
Yeah. So we have that. And then blue, which you see us wearing our blue today. Blue is the color for child prevention and awareness. And so why am I November?
You're stuck in November, girl. It's okay.
April 5th is Wear Blue Day. And that is a statewide event where everyone can just wear blue and post on social media about why you're wearing blue. It's to raise awareness that child abuse does happen in our communities. We have merch that you can purchase through our website, or you can just wear your own blue. But that's one that, again, it's like a social media campaign, just awareness. So your coworkers, your family, we even have bandanas for your pets if you want to get your pets involved.
We bought 5. Yes, we are ready. Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, so you can wear your blue. And then we have our beautiful new building now. So we're having our first open house in the new building on April 16th.
Yes.
From 4 to 6. So our new building is on Jean George Boulevard in Springdale, across from Children's Hospital, just south of Arvest Ballpark. So that is an open house walkthrough experience from 4 to 6. Just drop in and get to see the new building and then learn all about how you can help. We have a lot more going on. Sydney has some other kind of
We're going to finish out the month here.
Yes.
But yes, I do just want to stop right there and just say that if you were watching and you are interested in that walkthrough experience, I highly recommend it. Mm-hmm. It kind of puts you in the shoes per se of what a child or a family, might walk through as they are, taking this journey. And also just the building is beautiful, which also just makes it a lot nicer and bright and light for the kids, right?
Of course. Yes.
So, and you mentioned the handprints, but when you drive by at night, the creation they have come up with, I'm not going to spoil it. You just drive by and look at it. We do have some pictures of it on our social media, but the way that y'all were able to take those handprints and then create this fun experience that lights up at night is really, really cool. So
yes.
That when y'all did that at the opening, it was very emotional. That was very, very much to think about, especially knowing the story and knowing how that all came to fruition.
Each single one is from an actual child that has been to our center. So it's just that representation again of all those kids. That
it's a lot.
We've helped and that still need our help.
Absolutely.
And then another draw to the open house is our facility dog, Kramer. Kramer, our Aussie Doodle, will be there. So you can come see him.
Yes, Kramer is amazing.
He's amazing. We've had him for over a year now. He does therapy sessions with kids. He just hypes us all up when we need him. I mean, he's just a doll. We love him so much. Yeah. But he will be there, so you can come meet
there you
Kramer.
Go. There's another bonus. Yes. All right. So, Sydney, what else do you want to talk about for the events for April?
Yes. So we have our first open to the community prevention training on the 23rd of April. So it'll be at the center. We're really excited. That's another way that you can learn about the center and just ways to look out for child abuse and how to prevent it and just be more aware, spread that awareness. And so we will have that on the 23rd. And then we also, throughout all of April, we will be partnering with a lot of the local businesses in NWA. And so we're going to do something called Shop Small Help Kids. And we will be having a calendar on our website that lists all the different businesses that are partnering with us. Some are doing special items, like City Supply is going to do a candle for us. And it's beautiful. They're working on it right now. And they sent pictures and we're really excited for that. And then Riff Raff is doing a sweatshirt. It's actually going to have this same logo that I'm wearing. It'll be in a different colorway. And they're doing a trucker hat. And lots of other businesses are going to do like percentage of sales. And some of them are going to be a certain day in April. Some will be the whole month. So you can definitely look on our website for those things and figure out how you can help support us.
That sounds awesome. Okay. And all these events are listed on the websites, all the ways to register for them. If they need, do they need to register for the community training just so you have a number?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll have an RSVP.
Okay.
for
Perfect.
that.
Okay, that's
Yes.
perfect. Yes, and our staff is actually going to be going to the center for the first time as a group. And so we will actually be going through some prevention training as well. So we're super excited about that, and just allowing our staff to be able to see the new facility and
Yeah.
see kind of what, I get in all the good stuff, right? I get to see it all happen. I get to do all the work, but a lot of our staff, don't get to see what all that means and all that. So I think it's going to be really good for them
it's
to be able to.
important just for everyone, whether you have kids or not. All of us are around kids. We have nieces, nephews. It's just so important to understand that, number one, that it does happen, and what to do if a child tells you, tells you something or you suspect something. It's just a really good way. A lot of people still don't even know that we're here in Northwest Arkansas, and there's even a center that handles things like this. And so I just think it's so important for everyone to come see it and really learn about what we do.
And that's, part of our partnership too, is just getting that awareness out there. And I think that is something we feel very strongly about. We hope that if you're watching this, if you ever have any questions about how to get involved, tons of information on their website, but you can always reach out to me directly. I can get you Emily or Sydney's information. And, if your work or your church group or whoever wants to come and do a walkthrough or a training, a tour, we can get those things set up at that individual level as well. So if you have any interest in any of that, just feel free to reach out to us for sure.
Absolutely.
And then lastly, I just want to kind of cover, we're talking about this. We know this is an important subject, but we do know this is child abuse, right? This is abuse that is happening to children. But what is one of the ways, and I know we kind of talked about this in the pre-interview, you had a really good idea of how adults, parents, guardians, whoever can get their families involved in this without it being a super touchy, emotional subject, but letting their younger children know kind of why we're doing this and that kind of thing. And your friend had a really good idea.
Yeah. So Haley, shout out to Haley at Catering Unlimited.
Hi,
They do
Haley.
a lot for us too.
We do love Catering Unlimited. Man, pause for an ad, please. I'm just kidding. All right.
It was so funny because on my way home, I drive by kind of where their house is, and I noticed their pinwheels are already out.
Of course
And
they
so
are, Haley.
I texted Haley, and she was like, Milo just was so excited to put her pinwheels out for Aunt M. And so we put them out. They haven't put their sign out yet, but every year they put out that sign and pinwheels. And Milo's 4, but she already knows what those pinwheels represent. The average age that we see is 9. And keep in mind, 3 and under aren't very verbal. And so you need to start talking to your kids about body safety, the correct name for body parts, all the things at a super early age. And so it's not weird.
Right.
It's not weird to talk about those
Just take
things.
the stigma out of it.
Normal.
Yes.
There's so many books on our website too that you can get from Amazon if you know.
Oh,
you
that's
can
nice. Okay,
read
yeah.
with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so I texted Haley and she was like, "Oh yeah, but we'll put our sign out April 1st." And so I think that's a great segue to talk to kids. And another thing that I think is really great is there's a needs list on our website. And so you can go shopping with your kids. You can do a donation drive at your kids' daycare or a business or something like that. And then bring your kids with you when you're dropping it off at the center. It's a way for them to feel involved and that they participated in helping other kids. It's kids helping kids, right?
Yes.
And while they're there, we can give a kid-friendly tour and talk to them.
Okay.
Yeah, we do that all the time. And so they can see the forensic interview room and they know this is where law enforcement comes and they know there's people here to help them. And then they see the handprints, and a lot of kids when they tour will find a handprint that's their size. I've seen this so many times of the kids putting their hands up next to a handprint that's their size because it does happen. And I think it's just another great way to start those conversations. And the child already knows that there's a safe place that they get to come to, because telling is so difficult and so hard. And that's what we see a lot of times too, is the kids that do come, it's taken them sometimes years to even be able to get the courage to tell. But as soon as they see those handprints and they realize all these other kids have opened up and have told, it just empowers them to be able to tell also.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. I think either doing an event together by putting out your sign and your pinwheels, checking the needs list, maybe a kid-friendly tour. But, all those things would be a really, really good way to get your kids involved. And I mean, another thing could be you're driving by, you see pinwheels, you see the sign, plan a time to come back to that area and maybe bring your kids. If you can't do the pinwheels and the signs yourself or can't, something like that, bring them to one of those, locations where we have that. We'll have some at our office. There's going to be several areas. I'm sure you'll have some at your building. But at any point in time, you can always just go to a place that has them if you're not able to set those out predominantly in your family. If you live in an apartment or something and you don't have a way to do that, there are other options. So even just finding one of those locations would be pretty cool. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, so we have covered a lot of things. We have talked about the center. We talked about the new building, but mainly we just want you to focus on the month of April and raising awareness that this does happen here in Northwest Arkansas and that there are people and a brand new building and a facility and open arms there that are for these type of things when they happen. So just make people aware. That's what we're asking. So I just want to say thank you so much to both of you for taking time out of your very busy schedule. I did catch them before April 1st because I knew that I was not going to get them after that. But to come in, share everything that's going on, and just give us a little bit of a glimpse of what you guys are going to be doing over the next month. And we're excited to be a part of it.
Well,
Thanks for
thank you
having
again.
us.
Yes.
Absolutely. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you ever have any questions, concerns, whether it's regarding the Children's Safety Center, other community events that you might want us to be involved in, or as always, dental related questions, you can call our office or you can email me directly at amy@smilesarewild.com.